Hello, hello, hello. It's the Fat Boy back with another episode here in F1 2021 My Team Career Mode series. In the last episode, we had a bit of a kerfuffle with Schwartzman in the last lap in Interlagos. If you haven't already, check that video. But if you have, you're an amazing, amazing fan. And now we are here in Melbourne, and our plan with the power unit is to use the power units in this race in Melbourne, Jeddah as well, and Abu Dhabi. And pretty much that's the plan. We just have to turn down the engine, as most people would say, as we now are going to head in. We are going to head into qualifying here in Melbourne. In practice too, when I was doing my qualifying setup, my qualifying practice, I was somewhere in the top 10 for practice 2, and I thought it would be the same outcome for Q1, so I did turn up the difficulty a little bit as we head down the hairpin for our first lap. And our teammate Schwartzman has a 1 minute 22.674, and we fall behind by 1.3 seconds. So that means we have lost quite a lot of time as we head into the first corner. We are going to skip all of the corners into the final few corners, heading into the last hairpin. This time carrying more speed, which gives us more time gain, and we are a bit more aggressive on the throttle heading down the finish line. We get a 1 minute 22.2, and that is going to put us ahead of Schwartzman, but unfortunately we are not going to be into Q3. I mean Q1, although I thought that we would be into Q2 easily, but apparently practice is different from qualifying. And Bottas actually got pole, Sainz got second. Hamilton is down at 8th, so it's a bit unnatural for the 7-time world champion. And we fall behind Robert Schwartzman, so obviously a bad qualifying, and let's hope for a better result on Sunday in Melbourne.
Hello and welcome from Albert Park, Australia for today's race. And I think it's shaping up to be a classic. We go racing today then in the state of Victoria, where the drivers have 16 corners and 3.3 miles to navigate at an average lap speed of around 120 miles an hour. The close proximity of the barriers makes accidents inevitable, and recent history shows us that a safety car is not at all out of the question. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box. And it's fantastic to have you with us here today, but I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
But from the moment qualifying's over, you start to feel the adrenaline in your body build up and the buzz in your stomach as you anticipate the run down into turn 1. It's all a bit like going into battle, and the unknown situation makes you nervous. Those pre-race nerves are a good thing. The day you don't have them means that you don't care anymore. And of course, you have to make sure that all the procedures are second nature to you, so that they're not taking up too much of your capacity.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, edging out Sergio Perez, who lines up P2. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Verstappen, Lando Norris and Ricciardo, Sainz, Leclerc, Gasly and Fernando Alonso, Vettel, Tsunoda, Kimi Raikkonen and Giovinazzi, Russell, Stroll, Robert Schwartzman and the Black Mamba, Mazepin, Ocon, Mick Schumacher. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty, and Nicholas Latifi. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
After a very bad qualifying result, we are going to start on the medium tires. So I think this is the first time we are starting on the medium compound tires for this season. And then Jeff, our engineer, wants us to go long on those mediums. and go the remaining 7 laps on the softs when we box. So I mean it is good to try something new, but we will not have the pace over the early stages of this race. As now here come the 5 red lights for the Australian Grand Prix. The Melbourne fans must be excited for this, and we are underway. Gasly has already made a bit of some progress as we fall behind down to 19th place as we're now side by side with Esteban Ocon heading into turn 1. We are side by side with our former rival, and he has gone ahead of us obviously with the soft tires giving him more grip and more speed as we go for a huge dive bomb as we are making it 3 wide with Lance Stroll and our teammate on the inside line, but we had to back out as now Ocon is trying to take 18th place from us. We manage. We're still trying to make some progress as we clear Ocon, but we do go onto the gravel for a little bit, but no big deal. As Schwartzman is doing quite a good job staying with Lance Stroll for the time being. We are a bit off the pace compared to Schwartzman over these few races. As we now head down the high-speed chicane of turns 12 and 13, we are still struggling to make up time to Schwartzman as we are 5 tenths away from Schwartzman as the interval states, heading into the third last corner, heading into the hairpin, almost finishing the opening lap. We are trying to be a bit careful on throttle in order not to go off the track at the exit, and pretty much we were just stuck at P18 with obviously dirty air, which is not ideal for us. But we're not able to get past Schwartzman until the end of lap 3, as you can see on the top left. We now have DRS open, which gives us an opportunity, but this is a DRS train, so we managed to get past Schwartzman heading into the first chicane at lap 4. And I think the footage cut out like just a little bit between the where the camera had stopped broadcasting from that angle to somewhere before the braking zone, if you know what I mean. But at the end of the day, we still managed to get past Robert Schwartzman heading into turn 7, I think that is. And our eyes are now on Lance Stroll heading down the next right-hander of turn 10. Now in turn 11, I had to be a bit careful on the throttle on there, I think, because we didn't want to get dirty air heading into the high-speed chicane. This is obviously the AI's most powerful corner, as we now have DRS open. We are getting closer and closer to Stroll. He tries to defend us, but we go down the inside. We had to take a bit of the grass, and Schwartzman is also making progress by overtaking the Alpine, but they're still fighting for the wooden spoon of 18th place. And it's been like that since until now. We now head into lap 6, heading into turn 1. We are 4.2 seconds off, not off, but 4.2 seconds behind Sonoda. So But I last minute backed out of that challenge because I know I had a second chance of getting DRS on Schumacher, but it seems I don't even have DRS at all because I think I'm not sure what's going on. I don't think I had DRS, or maybe I did, but I just didn't see properly. But we still managed to clear him, and we are 2 places away from Schwartzman. As now, this is where we managed to go around the outside of the Latifi. This corner is so tight that I even had to put the tires on the grass for a short while, as we managed to clear the Williams to catch up to our teammate who is on the soft tires. So pretty much the strategy kind of worked because we are the two cars. I think we are the only two cars that have the soft tires on currently. And it's towards this point we're struggling to catch up to Robert Schwartzman as we fast forward to lap 15. This is the battle for the wooden spoon. We go for last minute dive bomb down the inside. Schwartzman didn't know that I was trying to make a move, and I had to back out of the overtaking chance heading into the flat out right hander where I crashed earlier in lap 6. And there's a bit of the DRS train. I think that's an Alfa Romeo ahead. I think that's Giovinazzi in the distance heading into turn 10. And pretty much I'm just trying to be patient, waiting for my move on Schwartzman because I still have the DRS advantage on him. But there is a DRS train which involves a couple of cars ahead, including me, obviously. As now we have the rear wing open. Schwartzman is also trying to make a move, but we almost make contact as we go down the inside of our teammate as we take a small trip to the grass. But we manage to go into P17. We get quite a bit of oversteer, and we can't keep the car stable as we hit the wall. We definitely have damage to the car, but at least we managed to overtake our teammate and take 17th place.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Ferme.
A great race then, and a fantastic victory here at Albert Park. Ant, talk to me. What do you think it was that sealed the win for them?
Well, they played the safety car to absolute perfection. There are so many factors to worry about once the race is neutralised. I mean, do you pit for fresh rubber? Do you have the space behind you? How much fuel can you save? If you answer all of those questions correctly, you'll have a good chance. And that's exactly what happened today.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today.
After quite a bit of a dramatic race, Sainz actually drops down to P12 and Leclerc only gets 8 points for Ferrari, so it's not an ideal result for Ferrari, but at least we managed to stay ahead of Schwartzman last minute. And now this is the time where we have to renew the sponsors. We have to renew the our sponsor, and I've decided to I think back out of our partnership with one of our sponsors. I think it was Savan. Yeah, it is, because the objective is to get driver of the day, but it's very hard to get driver of the day these few races. So I decided to go for a new partner, a new sponsor, and I'm not looking at I'm just looking at a sponsor which has more realistic goals. Pretty much not like these few sponsors. Eventually I've decided to go for our partnership back with Zaineto, which is just to answer at least 2 interview questions. So we will have the easy sponsors towards the end of the season, and we have 4,500 R&D points to fiddle with. Obviously we need to prioritize that on the regulations. So I have adapted the major upgrades just in case if we can't uh, adapt the minor ones. Just simply because that if we don't have enough R&D points, we will not adapt all the upgrades. Obviously, our R&D point saving continues on to Jeddah and Abu Dhabi. And if you made it to the end of this video, be sure to like, subscribe, turn on notifications in order not to miss any future uploads. And I'll see you in Jeddah, probably like in a few days time. I'm the Fat Boy. Have a good day. Hopefully you had fun watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.